Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, you looking for a great haircut or shave experience? Come to Champion Salon and Barber. Our skilled barbers and stylists are dedicated to giving you the best service possible. Whether you need a simple haircut or a complete grooming package, we have you covered. And while you're there, feel free to enjoy a complimentary beer and chat with our friendly staff. We have 2 convenient locations in Waco and Woodway, Texas. You can also book appointments online or through our app, making it easy to schedule your next visit. So why wait? Visit Champion Salon and Barber today and experience a cut above the rest.
White trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Blah, a King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, Season 3, Episode 23, Wings of the Dope.
Yeah, we're like
Very
2 episodes away after this episode.
Yeah,
After we
very,
get
very
through this
close.
episode, it's 2 episodes to the season finale.
And it's a Leanne-centric episode.
It is the end of an era
It kind of is, yeah.
for Luanne.
Yeah,
Really
'cause
is.
it's
It's
the
like the
last
end of an
time,
era.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is the last time that she's affiliated with the Beauty School of Arlen, Texas.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
Okay, we start this sucker off at...
Are you Buckley's angel?
I am Buckley's angel.
Yeah, he points at his shirt. Yeah.
He's got a name tag.
Read it.
So we start at the aforementioned Arlen Beauty Academy, and Luanne is in Ms. Kresmer's office, and she's giving her money for the next semester. She goes, "Here's my $300 cash for my next semester, Ms. Kresmer. Count it. It's all there." Has that been an issue? I guess because she
did
said a
have that
check
one
was
issue.
coming and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, she had to wait or whatever, and check bounced or something.
Kresmer says, well, there's still an incredibly complicated hair dyeing exam coming up, Platter. You got to pass that to even qualify for the final semester. Leanne, of course, ever the optimist, says, "I won't let you down, Miss Kresmer." And Kresmer goes, "Yeah, sure."
Wait. Hold on. I just noticed something.
Yeah.
You mean Luanne, right?
Did I say? Who did I say?
You've been saying Leanne.
Same thing.
No, it is
Leanne.
not.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh
not.
yeah, Miss Kresmer is also Jennifer Coolidge.
Yes.
All right, you got
So
me.
yeah,
It's
Luanne.
Yes.
Leanne.
I almost said Leanne. I had to catch myself. I wasn't sure if Mike said it.
Luanne
When I said
rhymes.
Luanne's name, I was gonna say I was like Lee. Oh no, Luanne.
Yeah,
Almost
okay,
got
you
me.
Hey, also, I didn't mention there's no bell, no yell as this thing starts. So,
Oh, yeah, no bell,
we
no
got to get
yell.
that out. Yeah, now we're outside of Kresmer's office in the hall. Lou and has gone outside, and these 3 mean girls who just kind of hang out at the beauty academy is a little odd to me.
Yeah, the mean girls in the beauty academy or
Yeah.
whatever. The other students. Yeah.
One of them says, "Ooh, look, it's Luanne." And then Sharona, who is the head pink lady of these guys, says, "Sure has been a hard year for you, Luanne, with your boyfriend blowing up and all, losing all your hair and being on academic probation. But, if you pass this last exam, it'll turn everything around." And then they just start laughing at her, which is just mean as you can be.
Mean as you could be.
Luanne is not... I don't want to get hit for this, but Luanne is not the smartest character on the show.
No, she's not smart. We love her for sure,
Yeah.
but she's definitely not the smartest.
Sure.
I got a cool fun fact real fast.
Yeah, what's up?
So in Canada, there's a network called Global, and that's the network that carried King of the Hill for Canadian TV.
Gotcha.
And after Brittany Murphy died, so the evening after she had died, they played this episode as a special tribute to
really?
her.
Oh,
So
wow.
this episode about Buckley's Angel or whatever.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
kind of, I don't know, coincidental, I guess. This is probably all coincidence. But the original title of this episode was supposed to be called Luanne's Angel.
Oh.
So the fact that they use it as a tribute later on and the original title is supposed to be Luanne's, I thought that was a pretty neat connection.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. So now we are all four guys are in the alley looking over the fence. And you hear Dale say, sad, very sad. And then Hank says, we find out that they're all staring at a trampoline.
A trampoline. And this joke right here is pretty funny.
Hank says, what is Con thinking? He bought the best trampoline of Buckley's estate.
Buckley's estate.
And he's letting it go to pot. Maybe we ought to talk
He bought
to
the best trampoline.
best
How many
trampoline.
trampolines does Buckley's estate
He had
have?
a lot. He had a lot of trampolines, yeah.
6 or 7 maybe.
You know, we used to have 2 trampolines in our backyard.
Oh, yeah.
We had the 5 kids, and so we were like,
My dad
you know,
never let us have one.
Oh.
He was always worried about somebody hurting herself. Because
All
I
of-
broke my arm one time when I was 11, and that was my dad. He said, that's exactly why I never bought you one.
That's, all of mine came off of Craigslist, so they were all free. I had to go get them. One of them I didn't take apart. I just strapped to the top of my truck.
I just
and
drove it.
across town with a trampoline on the top of my truck. Okay, so all 4 of them are looking over the fence. They're looking at this trampoline, and Hank is like, what is Con thinking? He bought the best trampoline of Buckley's estate, and he's letting it go to pot. Maybe we ought to talk to Con. This is a fix-it opportunity that only happens in the movies. What movies is he?
I don't know what he's watching. It sounds like he's watching like Home Depot tutorial videos.
Yeah, the trampoline's just covered in leaves and stuff. It's just kind of.
Did they ever make those? I wonder. Like, they've got VHS tapes for everything. I wonder if they have like Home Depot, maybe not Home Depot, but like DIY home videos.
Oh
like,
yeah,
this is how to tile a
Home
floor.
Depot had them.
Oh, Home Depot actually.
Oh yeah,
had
absolutely. You could check them
That'd be
out.
Awesome.
You could check them out like a video store and go watch them. Yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely.
great.
Okay, so he says, this is a fix-it opportunity that only happens in the movies. Hey, I know what we could do. Bill, remember when he got you to brush your teeth by saying you didn't know how? Bill's like, yeah.
Bill, yeah.
He said, reverse psychology, says Dale. That'll never work. He said, well, yes, it is. Yes, it will, says Hank. And Dale says, gotcha. So he was trying to do the reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Great job. Luanne pulls into the driveway, and she comes out crying, and she says, I just took a test last semester, and now I've got another test. It's not fair. Okay, Luanne, that's not how school works. How often in real life are you tested? And I mean, she is just blubbering.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Hank responds with, yeah, okay then. I mean, Hank's always trying to get out of whatever she's
Yeah,
got going
he's
on.
not interested.
She says, the girls at the Beauty Academy are so mean. And she just runs off. We see all 4 guys now going up to a door and ringing a doorbell. And Bill's like, they are mean. Dale's like, you made your point, Bill. Then Con opens the door. So all 4 guys have gone over to Con's house. Con said, well, if you guys are here, who's guarding trash cans in alley? He thinks that's the funniest thing.
Yeah, well, it is funny. Yeah,
Hank,
I like the retorts he always has to him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're here,
Hey, Billy.
who's holding up that fence?
Hank says, say, Con, we were just thinking, and Dale just blurts out, we don't want to fix your trampoline. Bill says, I do. He says, Bill, what? So they're trying to run this reverse psychology thing on Con to get, why would Con turn down the fact that you're going to fix his trampoline for
Yeah, I
him?
don't know. Well, because he knows that they get pleasure out of it, and like he knows that they want to fix it because they enjoy fixing it. So he's like, I don't want them to be happy at all.
He says, oh, now I get it. You rednecks want to fix my trampoline, but what's in it for me? Hank's like, he says, you mow my lawn for 2 months. And Hank's like, all right, whatever. And then he slams the door, and all of them just start laughing like, boy, I played him like a damn fiddle.
Yeah, he's
Just-
going to mow his yard for 2 months
gonna
for
mow
free,
his
but
lawn.
he's not even mad.
Yeah. So we're now at a horse barn. I guess it's a farm. I don't know exactly
I'm not
where,
sure
where they've taken all these girls.
They're in a
but-
stable for some reason, and I think that's a red flag. If you're in beauty school and somehow you end up in a horse barn,
Yep.
next to a horse's ass.
Probably not the best school.
Yeah, you might want to see about getting a refund and then
You might just be
reporting
a
them
redneck.
to the Better Business Bureau.
So in this horse barn, they've got the horse's ass sticking out, and each one of the girls is braiding their tails for, I guess, a test, right? And Kresmer's walking around with a clipboard, and she's grading everybody, and she says, "Excellent, Sharona. If I didn't know that tail was attached to a horse's rear end, I'd swear it was shares." Sharona, thank you, Miss Kresmer. She just keeps walking. She goes, "Oh, very good. Looking at this one." She goes, "Excellent highlights." And she goes, "Luanne Platter." And then you look at Luanne, and she has her horse's tail dipped into a bucket of something black, pulls it up, and the poor horse's hair is gone from its tail. It's just that nub. It's that weird-ass nub.
Yeah, the tail.
She goes, "It's not fair. My customer kept swatting flies." And Kresmer says, "Step away from the horse." Now, Luanne pulls back into the driveway at the Hills house, and she's just kind of muttering to herself. She's like, "Cher's hair is fake anyhow. I am too going to pass that test." And she's getting her big box of supplies out. We then see the trampoline almost like angelically lit, right? It's evening, and they have two big like floodlights on this thing, and the boys are going to go over there and fix it.
Yeah, that just short of breaking out the jacks to jack it up kind of thing. They're really into it. Just a quick thing. Sharona Johnson is played by an actress by the name of Dawn Lewis.
Yeah.
She was known for her role as Jalissa Vincent Taylor on A Different World from 1987.
All right.
So
I think we've had her on here before, right?
yeah. Well, she was in Plastic White Female, the one where Bobby makes out with the mannequin. I think it's last season, or maybe it's last season, I believe.
So she sees Dale and them coming over to the trampoline, and Dale's like, "Whip out them plans. Let's go. And to me, it looked like, when they set up on the highway to work at night. That's kind of what it looked like, right? I mean, because Hank's got blueprints. They got these big floodlights, the whole thing. Hank says, "I've taken the liberty of drawing up some schematics. Now, here's the trampoline that is, and here's the trampoline that could be." Those look exactly the same to me. I don't know what they've done to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing, probably.
Yeah, it does not. I don't know. Dale goes, "Uh-oh," and he sees Luanne coming up. And Hank goes, "I'm on it." He says, "Hey, Luanne, you look pretty today. Right, guys?"
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of agrees. She goes, "Oh, Buckley, this was Buckley's trampoline." And she looks down and sees the B plus L in a heart that he scraped on it, or she scraped on it. And she goes, "This was his favorite trampoline, his favorite one. He named it number 1. Wow, that kid was brilliant.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
And then she just starts sobbing, and she runs off. And Hank's like, "All right, where were we?" This is pretty cold of Hank. Because I understand he doesn't want to get involved in any of that stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about any type of emotion at all. So,
It's a pretty
of course
cold
he's
response, man.
going to shove it off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have another quick fact. Shout out to Artie for all the facts and everything I had.
Archie?
I don't think he gave me this one, though. No, this one is entirely my own. Okay. So, this episode premiered shortly sometime after the Columbine High School shooting.
Oh, okay.
After it aired, Mike Judge received a letter from someone who had been hiding in the school when it was going on, and she planned to tell a friend that she was in love with them and how they felt if they both made it out, but he turned out to be one of the perpetrators.
Oh, my gosh.
So she was in love with one of the guys that ended up doing the shooting or whatever. So she credited Wings of the Dope, especially Peggy's speech to Luanne about doing things on her own, with enabling her to deal with the grief that she had was pressured with after all that stuff. And she even quoted Luanne in the letter, wondering if the boy was guardianing some other girl because he never knew how she felt.
Yeah.
So she just, I don't know,
Wow.
that's kind of a crazy situation.
It's crazy how stuff like that can hit the right way.
Just imagine being Mike Judge and you're just making cartoons
kidding.
And somebody who survived a school shooting
No kidding.
sends you that letter.
Next thing we see is Luanne is in her room. She's in her nightgown. And from the outside, we hear, and she can overhear, "Well, some people say it's too bad Buckley's dead, but I say his trampoline and sure is going to be beautiful." Holy shit, Dale. That's pretty rough, dude.
to not interrupt you, I don't mean
No,
to interrupt
go
you
for it.
again, but Mike Judge actually, so there's actually a quote from Mike Judge about this letter and also about another episode. So this goes again to the apolitical nature of the show. This is kind of touches on that again. So he says, I don't get as much fan mail as an actor or singer would, but when I get a letter, 99% of the time it's pointing out something that really had an impact. Like after the episode, My Own Private Rodeo, all these people wrote to me and said Dale's dad inspired them to come out. And this is when it was illegal to be gay in Texas and a few other states.
Yeah.
Another one that really stuck with me was this girl who survived Columbine. See, Wings of the Dope, the episode where Luanne's boyfriend comes back as an angel, aired 2 weeks after the shooting. About a month after that, I got a letter from a girl who was there and hid somewhere in the school when it was all going on. She said the first thing she was going to do if she survived was tell a friend of hers she was in love with him. She never did. He ended up being one of the kids responsible for it. So you can imagine how, to her it felt wrong to grieve almost, and she bottled it up. But she saw that episode and Buckley walking away at the end, and something just let her finally break down and grieve and miss the guy. I remember she quoted Luanne, I wonder if he's guarding some other girl or something along that line, because she never had the guts to tell the kid. That really gets to people at Comic-Con. So that's a story I guess he tells often at the Comic-Cons. But yeah, imagine you're just making a cartoon and people are that affected or impacted by the show that you're making when all you're trying to do is kind of, touch on what's going on in society and stuff like that. So I don't know. People talk about wokeness and stuff like that. Like I think that I don't really like that terminology, but I think that he was definitely forward thinking before most television shows were.
Absolutely. The guy seems like he actually gives a crap about most of this stuff, and that's got to be so impactful to get something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So she's in her room, and we hear Dale talking about how he doesn't basically care that Buckley's dead.
Yeah, he's a jackass, ain't he?
my
Sometimes
God.
this is one of those episodes for Hank where he's just not really good.
You hear Bill and Dale and Boom, Howard, and Hank tell each other goodnight and all that. Luanne just looks at a picture of her and Buckley on his motorcycle that she's got, and she's just kind of. She's very forlorn, right? I mean, she's upset. She's worried about this test. She says, "Who are you? What do you?" What she sees as she is looking at that picture, she hears something outside, and she sees somebody jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah.
And so she runs out, and she's like, "Who are you? What are you doing? Wait, what?" And then Buckley says, "Chicken butt," of course, because it is Buckley jumping on the trampoline in the moonlight.
It is Buckley.
She's like, "Buckley." He goes, "Hey." And then he tries to pull her. She puts her hand out for him to pull her up onto the trampoline. He goes, "Psych." Yeah, like it's just the funniest thing, Buckley. Buckley was a dipshit.
Yeah, he was.
She says,
even in the afterlife.
That's right. She said, "What happened to you being dead? Are you an angel?" He goes, and he points at his tag that reads Buckley's Angel, and he goes, "Don't wear it out." She goes, "You are an angel." And then they are just jumping up and down on the trampoline. And that is going to take us to our first commercial break, or our only commercial break, I guess. And we will be right back. Hey, Rusty, you like smoothies?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't love buying a smoothie, though. Smoothies are so expensive.
They're expensive?
So I want to tell you about something called BlendJet, BlendJet 2. It's a portable blender that you can make smoothies or other kind of beverages in for the fraction of the price that you would go someplace and buy it.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. It's really hard to carry around a full-size blender with you to make drinks. But BlendJet 2 is a portable blender and cup all in one. It comes in a ton of different colors. It comes in a ton of different types. Like I know they've got the Disney ones, and they've got all the colored ones and all the camo ones and all that. Yeah. And again, it's a blender you can carry around with you. BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend up smoothies at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even a margarita on the beach. It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. BlendJet 2 is a whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothies without waking up the whole house. It lasts for 15 plus blends and recharges quickly. It's got a little USB-C plug in it.
Oh, wow.
You just plug a sucker in. Best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just blend with water and a drop of soap. You're good to go. That's pretty nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, to be able to just do that. It comes, like I was talking about, in over 30 colors and patterns to choose from. There's a BlendJet 2 to complement just about any style. I like the urban camo because I'm a certified badass, so I like that a lot. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
really good. So, what are you waiting for? You can go to blendjet.com and grab yours today, and be sure to use the promo code,
BWAAA12.
and that 12 is for savings because you get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender in the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. So you can blend anytime, anywhere with the BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code
BWAAA12.
to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever.
Wait, guys, you have to redo that. It wasn't recording.
All right, and we are back. We still see Luanne and Buckley's Angel jumping up and down on the trampoline. It's kind of cool because there's a lot of fireflies around them and stuff like that. It really feels kind of dreamy, like it's a dream sequence.
Ethereal,
or something of her.
yeah.
She goes, you are an angel, unless you're just a hallucinogen of my mind. Well, okay. That was good try, Luanne.
Yeah, good try.
She says, if you're really Buckley's angel, then tell me something only the real Buckley would know. He says, you have a birthmark on your butt the shape of a Honda key. You are a real angel, she says.
Yeah.
A
That's
Honda
funny.
key. And then they start jumping up and down, and it kind of goes to slow motion, and we get the song Life in a Northern Town by Dream Academy, which came out in 1985, playing in the background. That's right. That's it. It's perfect. Yeah, spot on. Wonderful. I'm afraid we're going to get copyright strike just because how good that was.
That was pretty good.
Next morning at the Hill House, you've got Peggy with the paper and coffee sitting at the breakfast table. And in comes Luanne and the rest of them. I think I called her something different that time, too. Luanne, you look positively radiant this morning. You're not pregnant, are you? Says Peggy with the coffee and the paper.
Boy, Peggy's wild.
In comes Hank and Bobby, and both of them are like, all right, sausage. And they sit down, and I mean, you talk about guys that just sit down and start
they
eating.
love some sausage.
Oh, my God. They're just, whoa, there they go.
They're scooping it. They're scooping it up with their fork before their feet ever even touch the ground.
And it's those little, like, breakfast sausages, like the links. It's not the patties, which that's a very
Links are
different
good too, though.
experience, the links and the patties. That's two very
It is two
different
very
experiences.
different experiences.
Yeah. And then there's the little links that pop whenever you cut into them.
Yeah. I like to roll my links into patties
Roll your links into patties.
to
sure.
get best of both worlds.
Takes you about an hour and a half to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Luanne says, I have an announcement to make. Last night I had a religious experience. And Peggy, of course, goes to sex. She goes, Ixnay on Abi Bay, too young gay. She says, last night I was visited by an angel, Buckley's angel. And, of course, Bobby, cool. And Luanne says, he was on the trampoline. He said to tell y'all all, hey. Peggy says, I think someone's been studying a little too hard for her beauty school test. Luanne says, probably Sharona Johnson. She's always studying. It's not fair. Luanne needs to figure out what fair and what
Max
fair is.
headroom, yeah.
She says, anyways, Buckley's angel and me jumped some, and then mostly we just jumped. But I feel better knowing he's okay. And then she just leaves the room. Hank is like, an angel. All right. Peggy says, she has given me the heebiest of jeebies, which I love that
Yeah, I
phrase.
love that too.
Hank says, the angel part, sure, but the whole not crying thing, I like that. I like it a lot. Peggy says, I told her to use proper ventilation around those hair chemicals, and I can't imagine she does.
Nah, I don't think she does either.
Hank then launches in and says, she's probably just stressed out, Peggy, but if it helps her think whatever she wants, she sees Buckley's angel. Nolan Ryan saw his arm as a rocket launcher, and the catcher's mitt is Saddam Hussein. Don't mess with a good thing, Peggy. Just be cool.
That's funny.
Something I've ever heard Hank say. Just
Yeah,
be
I've
cool.
never heard that either.
Peggy, of course, says, I'm cool. Then we get...
Well, the whole Nolan Ryan rocket launcher Saddam Hussein thing.
It's
For those of you that don't know, there was 2 Gulf Wars.
It's very true. That's very true. That was the first one, wasn't it?
That was the first one, yeah.
So now we're in Luann's room. She's combing that same styrofoam head
Yep.
She's combing the hair.
Bobby's girlfriend.
Yeah, you hear a knock.
Yeah, Bobby's love interest.
You hear a knock, and Hank comes in. He goes, "So, Luanne, this angel certainly seems to have made you happy." She says, "Oh, yes, I think that it's a sign that God is." He goes, "Yeah, sure, God. I'll bet God sent you this guardian angel, this stand on your own 2 feet angel. And if you have a problem from now on, you don't have to cry because Buckley's angel will help you through the test and maybe find an apartment or whatever." She goes, "Oh, my guardian angel." He goes, "Yep, find an apartment." And just shuts the door behind him. He just wants her out so bad.
Yeah, he's ready for her to go.
Now it's nighttime, and the guys are out there around the trampoline again because this is apparently something you have to do at night. And Dale sees Luanne coming out. He goes, "Red alert, red alert." She walks out and goes into the garage. Then you hear Luanne say, "Hey, Boomhauer, Mr. Dotree, Mr. Gribble." And Hank just kind of chuckles to himself. And Dale says, "What in the name of hell was that?" Hank says, "Luanne claims she saw Buckley's angel last night on the trampoline. I convinced her it was a guardian angel, and now she's on an even keel. Should have thought of this years ago. It's like she has a boyfriend I never have to meet." Good for you, Hank.
Yeah.
Good for you.
A win-win situation for Hank here.
Yeah. Okay, so now we see Luanne going into the coffee break coffee shop. I'm assuming this is around the hair studio, right? I mean, it would have to be.
I imagine in the vicinity of.
Because she walks in and all 3 mean girls are sitting there together.
Or Arlen's a small town, and there's not too many coffee shops you're going to be at, I guess.
I guess the coffee break is the one that all the college kids have.
Yeah, it's probably the closest to the college area.
Yeah. So she walks into the coffee break. She's got her textbook with her, and Sharona and the mean girls say, "Hey, look, it's Luanne walking her book." She says, "I'm not walking my book. I'm waiting for my guardian angel. Buckley has come back from the dead to bounce on his trampoline and help me with my exam." And the girls just bust out into laughter.
Well, she sounds nuts. She does sound crazy.
Nuts, but these girls treat her like crap.
They do.
Sharona says, "Do you hear yourself? You're crazy." She goes, "I don't have to hear myself. Buckley's angel hears myself." Okay, again, Luanne, sorry.
Yeah.
Sharona says, "Well, you're going to fail the hair dye test and flunk out of beauty school and have to work at the mall at the pretzel place, and we'll all be famous hairdressers, and we'll all be on the 3rd floor of the mall working on people's hair who eat pretzels at the pretzel place."
Whatever that means.
What a great thing
I
to
bet
hang
you
over
can't say that
somebody's
5
head.
times
Yeah.
fast.
They all just kind of laugh at her, and she goes, "Well, I spit on your pretzels, and no, that's okay. That's okay. I forgive you because I have a guardian angel now." Poor Luanne. Now we're in the backyard at the trampoline, and Luanne she's almost like praying to Buckley's angel at this point.
Yeah.
"Buckley's angel, can you please melt Sharona Johnson's face? Oh, and help me pass my test. Buckley's angel, Buckley's angel." And so now we've established the fact that she goes out to this trampoline just looking for.
Yeah,
a
she's
guardian
out there
angel.
praying to the
It's like an altar.
trampoline.
Yeah,
it's like
an altar.
and it is too because it's all lit up and it's like splayed out and she's
Absolutely.
putting stuff on it. Yeah,
Absolutely. So the next day, all 4 guys are around the trampoline. Hank says, "Okay, let's get to it." What is this, a note?
A
And he
note.
pulls a note out of the springs.
and Bill tries to grab it from. Oh, that's nobody's.
He goes,
Hank,
"No."
give it back.
He goes,
And then Hank starts to read it. Yeah,
Hank
"Dear
reads-
Buckley's angel, bring me a woman, any woman.
"Any woman."
Love, Bill F. Della T. Dodrieve." He didn't even spell Tor. He just put T.
Yeah, and Hank is like fighting him off the whole time while he's reading this. He goes, no, that's between me and Buckley's angel." Hank says, "There is no Buckley's angel. There was barely a Buckley."
Barely a Buckley. Golly, that's savage.
he said that greaseball couldn't even find a hammer in the Megalomart. I love the fact that that's a callback.
Callback to the very
first one.
first episode,
Yeah,
the pilot, yeah.
Yeah. He says, "How could he possibly find you a woman?" Bill says, "You have your gods, I have mine," which I love that quote from Bill. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He says, "Bill, shut up. Dale, lift your end." Dale starts lifting the trampoline. He drops it on his foot, and he's like, "Ah!" He goes, "It's a sign. We've been playing God with Buckley's trampoline. Now God is playing God with us, and he's a lot better at it. I refuse to touch this porthole to hell."
Yeah.
It's not a portal. It's a porthole.
It's a porthole to hell.
Hank says, "Look, we got a project going on, and Boomhauer and I are the only ones around here." And then Boomhauer kicks in. "I don't know, man. I had nothing but time, a little off, man. I've been working on hours, man." And Buckley walk up, just touch the hood, man. That Dodge heel, man. Yeah, I'll walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I don't think
Yeah, just rambling, yeah.
And so from that, I take that Buckley once walked up, touched his car, and it started running.
Yeah.
So Hank says, I'm gonna start. He goes, I am this close to fixing this trampoline by myself, which is a super big threat to the guy.
Oh, that's a big threat. Yeah, no, they don't want that.
And Bill's like, no, don't touch it, or the angel won't come back, and I'll be alone forever. Poor Bill.
Poor Bill. I don't know, man. Bill is something else.
So we are on Con's back porch, or we're on the back porch. I don't know if it's Hank's or it's Con's, but Peggy and Min are both sitting there, and Peggy says, "Hooey, cheers a hot one today, huh?" So, Min, have you ever had any religious visions? Where did this part come from? Like,
oh, I don't know.
It seems really weirdly placed, like there had been something before this or something maybe that got cut out, because she's just over there asking Min if she's had religious visions. I don't know. It's really odd to me that you go to Min.
Oh, the transition to men? Yeah.
She goes, you ever had any religious visions? She goes, this about Buckley's angel, huh, Peggy Hill? She goes, not too much happened in this neighborhood. When someone comes back from the dead, it gets around. Well, I guess it would. Peggy says, Luanne is clearly crazy. If it was a true religious vision, why would it come to her? I was home. Here's shitty Peggy again.
Wow. The old narcissistic Peggy.
She goes, I have had my close calls.
That was bad.
She goes,
that's a really bad one, too.
She says, one time I heard a voice say, Jesus is love, right in my ear, but then when I turned off the hairdryer, it was suddenly gone. Jeez, what a person.
Yeah. Well, hardly a person.
Now we see.
Hardly knew her.
We see Hank by himself in the alley with a beer, which we never see. And then we look over. Bill, Dale, and Luanne are all around the trampoline praying at this point. And they're all just, amen, amen. And then from inside behind the curtains, Dale is back there saying, run, Hank, porthole to hell. From inside his house, safe and sound. Now we're back inside the Hill house. Peggy is just blowing a hairdryer in her ear now.
In her ear.
So she can hopefully hear Jesus' love again.
Just churning in her ear.
Yeah, Hank comes through the hallway and goes, Luanne's got everybody going angel crazy, Peggy. Oh, don't tell me you're hearing Jesus' love again. And she turns off the hairdryer at that moment. She goes, Jesus' love?
That's all she heard,
She heard something. All right, we're at Luanne's room. Hank comes in again. He goes, so, studying for your big hair test? Luanne says, well, I'm waiting for Buckley's angel. I thought we might do flashcards. That's a great plan. Good job, Luanne.
Yeah,
She's
that's
going to do flashcards with an angel.
Flashcards with an angel. Buckley's angel at that.
Hank says, yeah, okay, well, I'm sure with his help you'll do just fine. You'll pass the test, and he'll have finished his good deed, and there'll be no need for him to come back to Earth again. And if you do see Buckley's angel again, it'll actually be an evil angel of death. I didn't make up the rules. It's in the Bible. Good luck. Bye. It's just rough.
That is rough. He's really trying to avoid the situation.
If you see him again, it's going to be an evil angel. Great. Thanks, Hank. All right, so now we see Luanne again at the trampoline with all her products splayed out, and she's praying again. And she's outside going, where is he? Buckley always did this to me. And she's talking to Peggy, who's finally come out to check on her. And she says, one time we were supposed to go see Color Me Bad. Do you remember Color Me Bad?
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a band.
Okay.
We were supposed to see
I thought it was a movie.
We were supposed to see Color Me Bad, and he never showed up. I was looking forward to that concert all week, and when I told him, he just said, Chicken Beak, he better not be guarding some other girl. Maybe I should drop out of beauty school, Aunt Peggy. So this is the speech that girl was referring to.
Yeah, that was the speech. I mean, that's real deep for high school, for like a high school kid.
Peggy jumps in and says, what, Luanne, you have waited to go to beauty school since you were 6. You have wanted to graduate beauty school since you were 12. So she wanted to go at 6, but she wanted to graduate.
Graduated at 12, yeah.
If you give up on school, honey, you're giving up on your dreams. Education is the sleeping pill that makes dreams happen. Peggy Hill.
Peggy Hill, whatever the hell that means.
It's the sleeping pill that makes dreams happen.
Yeah.
Luanne says, but school is hard. I should just give up and sell pretzels. Peggy says, Now you have to reach deep inside yourself and stop depending on your uncle or your boyfriend or your boyfriend's angel. This time it's all up to you. Buckley's angel helps those who help themselves. She says, I'll do it. You'll help me, right? Peggy's like, oh, of course. We see the next morning, and they were up studying late. You can tell because Peggy now has 4 different colors in her hair, and she's asleep on a lawn chair. Luanne is just asleep on the ground. She finally wakes up, and she's like, oh, God. And it feels like she's late to her test.
Yeah.
She says, I don't know why you didn't come, Buckley's Angel. This is some kind of test, and you'll have to make a makeup test because I have a makeup and hair test this morning. It's a lot of makeup and tests.
A lot of makeup and tests.
So she starts driving to school, and you can tell that she's kind of sleepy, because she's been up all night studying. She's got dirt all over her face. She just looks disheveled.
She looks rough.
Yeah, and then she kind of nods, and then you hear, hey. And so now Buckley is in the passenger seat, or Buckley's Angel, I'm sorry. She says, oh, you finally showed up. Thank you, Buckley's Angel. Thank you. He goes, yeah, you're going to fail the test. She goes, what? He goes, yeah, I have a message from Jesus. Something about how you suck at beauty school, except worded nicer. Oh, here. And he pulls out a folded up, crumpled up piece of paper, and it says, Luanne, you really suck at beauty school. Drop out. Love Jesus. Huh. He underlined really. I guess it wasn't nicer.
Wow, yeah, savage.
Jesus is telling her she's going to fail.
This episode was written by Johnny Hardwick.
Oh, cool.
That's
why it's so
weird. If it makes
weird.
any sense. Yeah,
that's
it's
why it's so
definitely
weird.
a little eccentric episode.
Luanne says, I thought angels were supposed to be good. You're a terrible angel, Buckley. I wish you never died. I wish you never died.
I wish you had never died.
He goes, hey, Jesus said it, not me. She goes, you are mean, just like when you were my boyfriend. But I have faith in me, and I'm not going to be trailer trash. I'm going to graduate, and I'm going to do makeups, and I'm going to have the biggest truck in Hollywood. He goes, Jesus says you're meant for something else. He can't say what. Well, y'all are wrong. And so Buckley and Jesus are wrong. I'm meant for beauty school. He goes, nuh-uh. She says, uh-huh, nuh-uh, uh-huh, nuh-uh, yes. And then you see her like starting to weave on the road. She's so upset.
She's not paying attention.
She ends up on the wrong side of the road, and she almost hits the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yeah, the Wienermobile,
which I thought was really odd.
Which
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So like with show ending hindsight.
Yeah.
Do you think they were planning to do anything with Luanne, or did her was her goal, her purpose in life really just to have Lucky's baby? Because there's nothing wrong with that. It was just
I think they were probably planning on doing something. And then when does Lucky come along?
not season 11, 10.
Oh, really? It's that far? So does she go to school after this? Because I don't even remember her being in school.
No, she does that salon gig with Bill for a bit.
Oh, that's right.
And then for one episode.
The one
and
where
then
Bill's supposed
she gets
to be
an
gay.
apartment. I'm not trying to be negative. Just
Yeah.
is her? I mean, unless
she gets a house too at one point that's down the street because there was there was a stoner and then some dude who rode bikes and would shave in the living room and stuff like that.
Season 8. He showed up in season 8.
wow, okay.
So
Lucky shows up in
yeah.
season 8.
Yeah,
Well,
we
got
we're
a
in
ways to go.
season 4, so she only.
This is 3.
Well, no, going
the
in.
end
We're
of-
going into season 4,
sure.
so the end of her beauty school. So there's 4 not 4 really. It's 3
seasons of her just kind
3
of
seasons of her just kind of floating.
there. Yeah.
Speaking of floating, she misses the Wienermobile and crashes her car. Buckley's Angel jumps out, and he's just kind of floating there.
Yeah, he's just good.
watching
just
the
watching,
whole thing happen. Yeah.
uh,
We see some students run up to Luanne, and they're like, "Are you okay?" She finally gets out of the car. She goes, "I think I'm okay. I was up all night studying, and I was so tired, and I was driving, and now." And they say, "Do you want to sit down?" She goes, "Yes, very much." So she sits down on the ground, and they're just making sure that she's okay. She looks on the side mirror of the car, and she goes, "Oh, look! Oh, I look terrible. I have to take a test." They say, "So?" She goes, "Looks are 10% of the grade." I'm not sure that's the case, Luanne.
yeah, I'm not sure it is
The
either.
students then say, "Looks, well, what class are you taking?" I bet it's statistics with Professor Rutledge. He's such a pig. And I mean, these are just these students talking back and forth. She goes, "No, it's hair coloring with Ms. Wait, you thought I was in school with you in college?" They were like, "Yeah, why not? You sure you're okay?" She goes, "Yes." And then they say, "Because we've got to go watch Saturday Night Fever for our American Cultures class." That's a great class.
Yeah, that is a great class.
She goes, "Yep, I'm okay." And they take off over to Arlen Community College, and they're just like, "Well, good luck on your test."
I did a really fun class. I did a couple of fun classes. I took a children's literature class. That's probably one of the
that sounds
funnest
cool.
classes
Yeah.
I took while I was in college, just getting to analyze kids' books and stuff like that. And geology was fun. I like geology.
Rocks and kids.
Rocks and
Love
kids.
those rocks, love those kids. And so all the kids go off, and Luanne, honestly, it's like she got her second wind, out of this.
Yeah, she
out
got a
of
deep
this.
breath out of it for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, a revival. Well, that's what we're going into. This is the death of To me, this right here is the death of the high school Luanne.
Yeah, and also the depressed.
No matter
Luanne.
what age she is,
This is kind of the end of the depressed Luanne.
yeah.
too, I mean,
She seems. This is like a maturing phase for her, getting ready to be a mother and a wife and stuff like that.
Very much so. So now we're at Arlen Beauty Academy. Luanne pulls up. I just wrote down dirty but determined. Because that's kind of the way you feel.
Yeah.
She comes in, and of course, Sharona and Amy and Jill, the mean girls, they're like, "Hey, Luanne, where's your guardian angel? Park in the car." And then you hear Miss Kresmer. She's like, "Okay, let's begin. Get your gloves on." All these girls snap their gloves on, and so we know the test is about to start. Now we're at Hank Hill's house again. Hank is in the garage polishing a hammer. While the other three are in the yard.
That's kind of maniacal. Like
is.
if you look at that with no context and you see a guy wiping down a hammer, you're like, what did he just do with this hammer?
Not only that, but while other people are standing there watching you,
like what are y'all like? What mafia stuff? He must start breaking kneecaps.
So he's kind of he's looking at the hammer and looking the other direction. He knows the three guys are behind him, and he's like, "So, any angel sightings this evening?" Dale's like, "No, not yet." He goes, "Oops." And then he goes, "Well, now what is this?" He starts walking out to the trampoline, and he finds another letter. So now this is obviously a letter that he has planted. He goes, "It's a letter from the desk of Buckley's angel." From the desk of Buckley's angel. Bill runs over. He's like, "Oh." He says, "Let's see here. Dear Bill, Boomhauer, and Dale, I have been able to find a woman for Bill, any woman, or a crankshaft for a 1968 Dodge, and the porthole to hell is actually located in Hank's garage near all of his tools," which Dale's like, "Oh, my God," which should be avoided by anyone afraid of the porthole to hell. Well, that's that. Goodbye, Buckley's angel. Dale says, "Goodbye, Buckley's angel." And then he comes over and says, "Let me see that letter." And they start looking at it, and Bill goes, "That's not Buckley's handwriting." He goes, "Hank." And Hank sprays. While they're arguing back and forth, you just see the water start hitting these three guys.
Yeah, that's funny, too. Like, he's just like, all right, I'm done with y'all's bullshit.
He just pulls out the hose and just...
Wouldn't it be awesome if life was that simple that when somebody was just
kidding,
in your ear with bullshit, you could just hose them?
No kidding. And Hank just goes, "Now, I believe we have a trampoline to fix." So we fast forward. We've got Hank, Peggy, and Bobby sitting on the back porch. Luanne comes driving up. She is super giddy and laughing and screaming.
She's in a great mood.
Yeah. She's like, "Guess what?" And Peggy stands up and goes, "You aced the exam. I knew it." "Oh, congratulations, Luanne." She goes, No. Even better, Aunt Peggy. Buckley's angel came back, and then I almost hit a wiener wagon, but first Buckley said Jesus said I was meant for something else, and I thought Jesus meant something worse, and then I remembered you telling me not to give up on my dreams, and I realized that he meant something better, and I got my tuition refunded from Miss Kresmer and enrolled in Arlen Community College just like Jesus said. Yeah, I just wrote down that Luanne was completely unhinged.
She is. She's really kind of on edge here.
Peggy jumps in and she goes, "College? Real college? Oh, Luanne, you are dreaming with the big boys now." And
it killed me.
And Bobby, "This is the happiest day of my life."
Yeah,
God,
I'm like,
Bobby,
what the hell? You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Anchorman when he,
That's right.
I love lamp.
I love
yeah,
lamp.
why are we yelling? Yeah,
This is the happiest
yelling
day
for
of my
no
life.
reason.
Hank says, "Luanne, well, that's great. I mean, wow, but you'll be moving into a dorm, and all of our dreams have come true."
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, Uncle Hank,
Yeah,
or
of course.
Uncle Hank,
Uncle Hank.
with tuition and books and back to school clothes, I can't afford to move out now." And she looks super sad. And he goes, "Well," and this is Hank again. He's been kind of a dick in this one, and now he's come back around, and he's like, "Well, I guess as long as you're in school, bettering yourself and whatnot." And she's like, "Oh, thank you, Uncle Hank." And she starts hugging him. He goes, "Don't thank me. Hug your Aunt Peggy." And so she goes over to Peggy, and she goes, "I'm going to start out as a liberal artist. I might even go pre-med. It's really the same thing." No, it's not.
It's not even
all.
close.
No, it's not at all.
Not even close.
Hank goes to sit down, and he's talking to Bobby, and he goes, "Huh, I didn't know there was a wiener wagon stopping in Arlen." And Bobby,
obviously not, or you would have taken me.
He's pissed. He wants to see the Wienermobile.
Pissed.
All right, next day we see Luanne start to throw away her beauty supplies.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as Bobby, though. I get pissed off when people go, like people that I'm close to know that I love food.
Yeah.
So when there's a food experience that's unique in town,
Sure.
and they go to it and they don't mention it to me, like, because they know I'm oblivious to the world. So like, tell me that there's a food experience and let's go, kind of thing, you know. So
Yeah,
I
no kidding.
could feel it. I mean, if there's a wiener wagon in town, I'm trying to hit it.
I want to see the wiener wagon.
It was in town, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was
Here a
not
while
long
back.
ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Oscar Mayer.
Hank goes to sit down, and he's talking to Bobby, and he goes, I didn't even know there was a wiener wagon. And Bobby's like, obviously, or you would have taken me. Luanne's,
So I don't mean to interrupt you.
no.
I was just remembering the wiener wagon while he was in town had a catalytic converter cut off of it, and it had to be in town longer because they had to wait for somebody to come weld a muffler back
that's
onto
terrible.
it.
Oh, poor wiener wagon. We see Luanne throwing away her beauty supplies, and then we hear, hey, and he's over there on the trampoline again.
Yep, sitting there.
He said, I just came back to say I'm sorry I bailed out of the car. She goes, I knew you weren't really a jerk. He goes, yeah. Well, I got to go. Jesus is having a party tonight. It's going to rock. She says there'll probably be a lot of people there. But you see Jesus, tell him I said thanks. Goodbye, Buckley. He goes, before I go, could I have one last kiss? And he tries to kiss her, and she goes, oh, no. She pushes him away, and she goes, no, that part's over. He says, why? She goes, chicken thigh. So she got it.
Damn. Yeah. And that is, after this episode, that is it for Buckley.
Yeah.
This is the last time we see Buckley in any way, shape, or form, except for the intro. They leave him in the intro, even when they adapt it for widescreen.
Yeah,
they kept him in it even then. So
then Buckley jumps real hard, and that Life in a Northern Town starts playing again. And
can we get that again?
You see that he kind of jumps to heaven.
I sound like an asshole.
You did it.
No, you had it. You had it almost. Go on with it.
He goes way up in the sky, and this is enough for Luanne, and she's like, okay, well, that's the close of that, and now she's a college lady. But then we see Buckley during the we see Buckley kind of come back down after Luanne has already gone inside, and he goes, hey, new record, cool. And he just kind of walks down the street, walking away, and he puts his halo on, and that's the last we see of Buckley.
That's it, yeah.
We now have the credits, and as the credits are going through, we see Khan come over to the trampoline because Khan now wants his favors. Buckley's Angel, Buckley's Angel, I'm so alone. I have to commute to Houston every day. That city, one big stink hole. Did I make the right decision, Buckley's Angel? Oh, Buckley's, and he's just screaming away.
Screaming away.
He goes, why you not come to me instead of that little hot potato? Oh, Buckley's Angel. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then after the credits, we hear Buckley say, hey, that's it.
To go back to the distance of Arlen and where the hell it's located at, this one kind of throws it off, too. I have to commute to Houston every day. So if he's in this area, he's driving like 2.5 hours to work every day.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts it almost closer to Bryan College Station in my mind, because if you lived in Bryan College, there's people who live in Bryan College Station who commute to Houston.
Sure.
Because that's only like an hour or so. So I don't know. That kind of changes that a little bit.
I still don't want to commute for an hour.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't want to commute. I commute, but I don't like commuting. I commute all day.
All right. Tell them where they can find us.
You can find us at linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH. That is BWAAAKOTH. And you can also find us at roguemedianetwork.com.
roguemedianetwork.com.
And also, I got to try out my little blender, and I had some ice cream with it.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of ice cream. I did a really cool one. So we put, I got the oatmeal cream pie ice cream. I got whole milk, of course.
The Little Debbie one?
Yeah, the Little Debbie one.
Yeah.
Whole milk, and then it was crushed up
sardines,
cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh,
no,
wow.
not sardines. And then mixed it up.
You made a flurry. Is what you
yeah,
made.
whatever it was. My son loved it. I think he enjoys it more than I do, because he's always saying, "Can I get a shake?" I said, "Dude, we've had a blender in this house for like your whole life, and you never wanted it when we had a blender. Yeah. But now that he's got it with the the Toy Story aliens and the cool buttons, so it's not just fun for you; it's fun for kids too." So.
Well, the cool thing about that blend jet, you take the top off, the kids can't hurt themselves.
No, they can't hurt themselves. It's pretty safe. Yeah, it's a safe tool.
Well, we've got some big stuff coming up. Once we get through this season 3, I think you guys are going to like what we're going to bring you.
Yeah, we're kicking it up a couple notches.
Yeah, we're going to do some video. So
you're going to have to actually start wearing pants.
Yeah, we're going to have to start wearing pants. Yeah. We may have to pixelate our faces, but it's going to be exciting. So thank you guys for sticking with us, and we'll see you again next time.
Wimatanye.
Wimatanye, indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.